Pamela Soden, I call her Pam, is the owner of Soden Training and Consulting Services. She has an infectious belief that learning is lifelong and fun. And if you've taken any of her seminars, that bears out. It's just amazing. She's such a great coach and instructor. She applies those beliefs in the design and delivery of every program she teaches. Pam assists individuals, groups, and organizations in increasing their effectiveness through coaching, consultations, and workshops. In her more than 30 years as a learning and development professional, Pam has trained thousands of individuals in the skills they need to be productive and successful in their lives and in their careers. And all that stuff is kind of smudging together these days, you know.
Hmm.
Used to be work and life, and now it's all kind of integrated there. Pam, it is so good to see you. How you been? How's everything?
Same here, Dave. It's great to see you.
We
Accustomed to bumping into you on occasion when we work in real offices, so to speak.
I know. It was
Yeah,
just so easy to grab a soda or a cup of coffee and say, "Hey, what's up?" But now it's like we got this screen we're talking to, you know?
we're learning how to manage this, though.
We'll
Okay.
be fine. Hey, listen, I've always envied your ability to coach and support, but pull out the key need to know things as related to be an effective communicator.
Okay.
Okay,
Super. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
my question is, what is the secret to communicating more effectively during this moment when it seems like almost everything we do is digital? What would be your recommendations there?
Okay. To begin with, you shared a fair amount about me. And one of the things that I've had to recognize during this period is that for everything that you shared, I'm not focusing on all that stuff. I'm bringing it back to communication because communication is really core to it.
Hmm.
And so there are two things that I focus on as I do communication. One is presentation skills, and the other one is I like to work a lot with, some of you familiar with it, DISC. Now, for both of those, the key for me is knowing yourself. All right. And a key during this period that we've just been through and will continue to go through is continuing to know yourself.
Hmm.
Because the more I'm aware about me, the more I'm aware about me, what my passions are, what my skills are, what my strengths are, what my resources are,
Hmm.
the stronger I am.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
So if I know these and I know what's important to me and what I want, I'm able to build on them no matter what's going on
Hmm.
as we have been through this pandemic. All right.
And just to clarify, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, when you say DISC, you're talking about the DISC assessment,
The
correct?
DISC assessment. Yeah. And the DISC assessment is published by a number of different folks. And you've got the DISC assessment, but then you also have a number of other tools which essentially put you through the same process of taking a look at what's your preferred style of interacting
Hmm.
and understanding other people's preferred style of interacting and recognizing that neither of you is right or wrong. You're
Hmm.
just different. And the more I recognize differences, the better I'm able to work from there. So,
It strikes me also that a key part of communication and a key challenge in communication is asking for what you need. What's your advice on how to more effectively ask for what
okay.
you need?
Okay. And it goes back to this again. First of all, I need to know about me. Given I know about me, then what I'm about is figuring out as much as I can about the other person. All right. Because whether it's in the ongoing interpersonal communication or it's in a presentation, to the extent I approach the other person where they are,
Hmm.
I am more likely to grab them. All
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
Now, this means that to be able to do that, know myself,
Hmm.
I know the other person because I ask questions and I listen. Critical. I listen. I ask questions and I listen. And it's interesting because for me, Zoom has actually sort of facilitated that.
Hmm.
It facilitated that because no matter how many tiles I've got in front of me, and part of this is figuring out how do I go to the camera while still studying the tiles.
Hmm.
How many tiles I've got in front of me, I'm constantly observing what's going on with other people.
Hmm.
I'm observing to see when are they turned on by something?
Mm-hmm.
When do you see that you've lost them?
Mm-hmm.
Because to the extent I go to where people are, you go to where people are to get them to where you need them to
Mm-hmm.
be.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what you need? Okay, so what is it that they need? What
Mm-hmm.
happens too often is we're heading out there going for what we want, going
Mm-hmm.
for what we need,
Mm-hmm.
and forget what's most important to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And during this period of time, other person is critical,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to listen to them is critical as well.
Pam, I'm going to ask you the question I ask everybody, which is what lessons have we learned that we must not forget?
Okay. For me, the first one is not to be complacent. Not to be complacent because all of those things, um, I mean, I've got my favorite room at the Renaissance Hotel in Washington, D.C. I don't know if I'm ever going to be back at that room again. I mean, I love to take the Acela. Those are things that became patterns and habits that were really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I'll ever visit them again.
Hmm.
But what is it about going there that supported me? I went there for the interactions that I had with people. I can still have interactions with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not complacent about doing things the way I've always done things,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm recognizing to be able to get the outcomes that I want, that is being able to help people in increasing their effectiveness, I've got to learn new ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, this Zoom business has been a new part of my life. And I'm constantly figuring out, how do I do this? How do I do this better? I'm about to attack Microsoft Teams next week, as I look at other products, because different clients have different products.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the outcomes that I'm looking for. What's the new way
Mm-hmm.
that I have to reach those outcomes,
Right.
helping people increase their effectiveness, but not doing it the same way I used to do it. So the complacency is part of what I have to let go of and grab hold to a new way of approaching things.
Come on in. The water's fine. It's great.
I know, for someone who's so technologically competent, yeah, all right, check it out.
Pam, it is so good to see you again. I hope we can catch up at some point in the not too distant future, okay?
I would look forward to that as well, Dave. Thanks for having me. You
Oh, it
take
was,
care. Be well.
thank you.